Welcome to Soul Inspirit, where spirituality meets real life. I'm Summer Paradiso, a psychic medium, intuitive guide, yoga teacher, and artist here to help you reconnect with your highest self. Here, we dive into the practices that strengthen your connection to intuition, higher self, spirit, and source. We'll explore my signature Soul Inspirit method, a fusion of movement, meditation, and creative expression designed to help you release emotional blocks and reclaim your power. Because to move through life with alignment and ease, we must first embrace vulnerability. Whether you're just spiritually curious or fully immersed in the ocean of woo-woo, this is your space to explore grounded spirituality. Expect soulful convos, real-life stories, creative tangents, and grounded practices to support your transformation. So take a deep breath, grab your coffee, tea, or whatever keeps you sane, and let's explore how to bring more magic, meaning, and soul alignment into your everyday life. Let's do this. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to today's episode of Soul Inspirit. I'm your host, Summer Paradiso, and today we are joined by the Chanel Silifant, Coco, better known. She was my photographer in Mexico for my retreat in January, and this woman is making waves of change in the world of photography by truly helping women step into an embodiment of connection to themselves. It's so hard to describe what she does because it is not just photography. I will formally introduce her now. Chanel Silifant is a photographer working across business and boudoir with a strong focus on embodiment and intuition. Her work centers on body acceptance and presence, using the photo session itself as a grounded experience rather than a performance. Very well said, because it is an experience and it is absolutely life-changing. I met Coco in South Africa at a retreat with my friend Christina from Elixir Media Co. And Christina found Coco to do her photo shoot there and invited Coco to come to the villa that the retreat was at to take some photographs of a ceremony we held. And I literally only got to talk to Coco for the span of dinner. And I sat next to her and literally I could feel like her energy vibrating off of her. And I was like, I know this woman. I swear I was like, I've known this woman for lifetimes. And I told her, probably sounded creepy, but as she says in the interview today, it apparently was not as creepy as I thought. But I was like, we meet again. Like, we see each other again. It was so easy to say goodbye because I was like, oh, I know you, and we hang out. And we did. I saw her again in Italy, where she did my first formal photo shoot. And those pictures were absolutely amazing. And that experience itself was a transformation. And then I had ended up losing my photographer for the Mexico retreat due to some health issues. And so I didn't have anyone. And I had said, because Coco's in South Africa, y'all, like, she's far away. And I had said, like, oh, it'd be really cool if you could come to Mexico. And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, what? And so she came to Mexico and we started calling her Mexicoco because it fits perfectly, Mexicoco. And then she did a photo shoot there and a photo shoot for all of the women on my retreat. And we talk about this in the interview, and I'm just really excited for you guys to get to know her because she is just the purest, most amazing type of human. She also has the most exquisite South African accent, and I can't wait for you guys to listen. I do want to add a little disclaimer that she is still in Mexico. Thank goodness, because we're at least on the same time zone. But her Wi-Fi was a little bit glitchy. So if there are parts in this interview where she glitches out or the audio is not perfect, it is because she is in the warmness of Central America. So just keep that in mind. I'm really excited for you guys to meet the dearest, dearest Coco. Here's the interview. Okay, everyone, I have Coco here. Chanel Silifant is her official name, but we call her Coco. And she's still in Mexico right now in warm weather, although you're in a black turtleneck matching me. Is it cold today?
Yes, it's been winter since yesterday, which is apparently very weird and never happens here.
But you get it right now because you're going home to hot as fuck summer, so it kind of works out. So, Coco, I'm so excited to have you on here because you have been an integral part of my transformation journey because you have done two official photo shoots for me. In addition to when I met you in South Africa, you did like a mini one for everyone. And I'll probably get into that a little bit more later, but I first want you to introduce yourself informally here to all of the listeners. Who are you? What do you do? And why?
So I am Coco. I am also just a woman navigating this life with, like body image issues and seeking happiness and comfortability and all of the things. I'm very curious. And yeah, my life has led me to be behind a camera. And at first, I thought I was just taking, nice, spicy photos of women. And then I realized there's so much more behind it. And there's these layers that come off especially when the clothes come off. And it's not necessarily just about being naked, but I think I realized like people like to be seen in a way that they would like to portray themselves, or even like in moments where they don't necessarily believe that they are a certain way or have the aspect of themselves. And through working with my camera, I found I can hold like this platform for people and they can explore that and feel it out and yeah, see it for themselves.
Yes, you're so correct in that you see people in a way that helps them see themselves. I am a testament to that 1000%. Let's backtrack a little bit to go to, I don't know, the first photo shoot or the first moment that you realize, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Like, was it a first boudoir shoot that you did? Was it the first bum that you shot? You've shared a little bit of how it's evolved, and I would love for you to share with our listeners, like, how did this turn into you photographing bums for a living, as you say?
Yeah, so I was doing weddings and families, lifestyle photography. And then I went on this fabulous girls' weekend trip, the first chance we got during COVID to be a little bit more free. And yeah, it was just this beautiful weekend with my friends. And I took my phone camera, and I have this one friend who she's always squatting everywhere. Like she'll just drop and do 100 of them, and everyone needs to join in. But she, as you can imagine, has a fabulous bum. And I asked her if she would mind if I take like a nude picture of her bum in the bush with my film camera. And she was very keen. So on the Sunday morning, maybe a little bit hungover, and it was winter, and she was like, okay, let's do this thing. And so we weren't like even particularly in a bush, but in outside farm area. And I took a photo and I turned around, and there's a couple of my friends taking their clothes off, and they're like, oh, they also want a bum photo in the bush. And then I made kind of like a joke online. So they said it's fine. I can post like the pictures of their bums and on my personal Instagram. And I joked and I was like, if I can take pictures of people's bums and get paid for it, it would make me very happy. And something or someone it heard me and it was like, hold my purse, I got you. And then I started receiving messages of people asking me if I would do like a boudoir type photo for them, or I got a request for prints for the bums of my friends. And it just like steamrolled from there. And I took a leap and booked an Airbnb and advertised that this is what I'll be doing. And yeah, then it steamrolled because the burlesque community found me and they threw me into the deep end, and they're fun and they have feathers and glitter and everything. And yeah, it's been a very interesting, wild and beautiful ride. But if the first time that I realized that there's something, I had a client come in. She was an older woman called Amanda, and she had breast cancer. And so I'm sorry if I get a little emotional talking about this.
We cry on
Um,
this podcast, so you're good.
we're like 5 minutes in. Anyway, so she had a double mastectomy and some reconstruction, and she came in for a further session because her daughter had also done a session with me, and she spoke so highly of it and suggested that her mom come too. And it was one of my favorite sessions, and she was just so flowy, and she had like these silk scarves and just played with them. And yeah, it was just a beautiful session. And then the next morning, she sent me a message and she said she'd forgotten that essential part of herself. And when she woke up that morning, she was very much like, it's something woke up. And her partner at the time was very happy about like this new person who woke up the next morning. She was very explicit in like explaining to me like, how her day went, which I was like, you go girl. I'm happy for you. But it was in that moment that I realized that there was something more to it, making people see something that was maybe a little bit locked up or hidden away or never been revealed to them before. I think about 6 months ago, I heard that Amanda passed away. And also, but she has a very, special place in my heart for what she did.
Oh, fuck, I didn't think we were going in that direction. Okay, sorry.
I also
No.
never shared this.
You have never shared that. Wow. What a beautiful gift for you to give her, to have not only a reconnection to her husband that she shared with you, but to her daughter, to have been able to share that experience, and then this reconnection back to herself. That, is something that I think is so important in the world right now. I think all of us who are fighting I'll call it a quieter fight. Like we're fighting it from behind the scenes to reconnect women back to themselves. And I think it is just so incredible that is what you're doing. So thank you for sharing that. I was not emotionally ready for that. But thank you. Yeah, this connection to self in being naked or being stripped down in a way that is sensual and beloved in a non-sexual way. And we talked about that on the retreat quite a bit, both the women on the retreat, like you and I talked about that, but it is just this forgotten art, I feel like, that you're bringing back to life. This self-love and this understanding of sensuality and connection to divine feminine that does not have to be sexual. Butt cracks and nipples do not have to be sexual. They can be, and that's beautiful too, like great, but they don't always have to be. And what you are doing is just incredible. So on this note, Coco, I want to go back to maybe part of your why, because you realize that there's something more here, that it's not just photographs. Was there a point in your life where you felt unseen or you felt misunderstood or not acknowledged that perhaps informed your subconscious to pick up a camera?
Yes, I, from a very young age, had this complicated relationship with what a woman's body is, what it can do, what it's supposed to do, what it's perceived as. And so I've had a very complicated relationship and understanding with like the power of it if when you understand how it is perceived. I don't know if that is making any sense. But so I have struggled with, do I allow myself to portray these essential parts and it not be sexual? Because that is what it is received as a lot of the time. And so I kind of feel a lot of us suppress this part of us because it's dangerous. It can be used in a manipulative way, or yeah, just the signaling being received wrong. And in that sense, we cut off a little bit of our chaos, which helps us to express ourselves in creative ways or in nurturing. And yeah, so for me, I had to rediscover that and be okay with that and showing that to the world. I'm still probably also peeling off the layers of myself. Being behind the camera is a very safe space for me. And I have been practicing a little bit to be on the other side, videos or like doing this with you. And also being okay with like allowing myself to strip it away and using my chaos and my sensuality, because I fully believe that everyone's sensuality is like a fingerprint. It's completely different from another one. So that'll bring it to like a little bit of a different topic of comparison and allowing ourselves not to like understand this is what it looks like to be sensual or to whatever you choose to embody in the moment. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I loved where it went though, this comparison factor. And you've been pretty vocal about this on your platform, talking about, I think you posted something recently. It was this woman who was covered in tats, like super badass. And she was talking about how people are erasing like their experience through like Botox with wrinkles and stuff. I don't know. Oh, I don't remember her handle. We have to find it. But talk about that and kind of your stance on self-altering. What
Mm,
does that mean to you and how
I
you feel about it? And be
yeah,
like, tell us the 100% Coco version. I want to hear
yeah.
exactly how you feel.
I am I'm very scared to talk about it. I have before, but I feel like I'm definitely stepping on toes when I do it.
Step on the
But
toes.
I'm here, let's step on the toes. I It makes me so angry and so sad to see women like change their own beauty. But it's also just because I think I've been exposed to so much more being the one on this side of the camera. I see the real. I see the wrinkles. I see the stretch marks. I see the cellulite. I see the when you're laughing, the belly comes a little bit more out, or like I'm the one that tells you to go up a little bit. So, but I see the real, and that's beautiful to me now. Like when I see look at a magazine or some photos that are posted and it's too airbrushed and I can't see your pores and I can see your facial expression, or looking at a video of someone and I'm like, but where, like, I can hear your emotional in your voice and I can kind of, feel the energy that you're talking with, but your face is not telling me more. I cannot recognize what you're trying to say to me. So yes, so angry and sad, but also understand 100%. I've colored my hair. I'm in that age where I'm like, should I do Botox? Should I anti-aging cream, more sunscreen? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, am I drinking enough water? Like, I'm also in this, it's a fucking race. And I think I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to be in this race. I want to see where it goes naturally and not wonder one day when I look in the mirror what I would have looked like if I just like let it be and let my laugh lines show, or all of the experience that your body carries it around on the outside too. And I have lots of tattoos, and I feel that I cannot be someone who tells someone like you shouldn't get filler or plastic surgery or anything, because that's also a form of body modification. I do feel there's a difference in doing it for artistic reason, like expressing myself with the tattoos. You also have some, it's a form of expression, and it wasn't to make myself look younger or more beautiful or attractive to anyone. It was just, I feel like an expressive mode. And I think that's where the comparison thing comes in, where I want to still, I don't know why, trying to figure out how to say that, trying to look younger than we are because we feel we have an expiry date. And a lot of women says, yes, I will do the Botox and the filler and the plastic surgery because I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for anyone else. But I just also want to know, like, so you're doing it for you, why? And then normally be like, to feel better. And I'm like, to feel better about what? And if you can tell me, like, what is it you're not feeling good about? And then you can go deeper into that one. I think it'll be different for everyone, but it comes down to comparison.
I feel personally victimized right now. No,
Sorry, I jumped that. But
I pushed you to go there because I wanted you to, because this is something we're all struggling with on the like multiple times daily. And I've personally challenged you because I've been like, can you airbrush out my furrow in between my brow? Because you really leave, like, you photograph so well that like people's authentic selves are coming through in the photos. And my authentic self, dear podcast listeners, if you don't know me, I have a furrow in my brow because I express deeply. And so my brow furrows in the
okay.
middle. And my eyes are also sensitive as fuck to the sun. So when I'm photographing and it's sunny out and you're getting directed by Christina, shout out, and she's like, stare into the light. And you're like, I can't because my eyes are going to fall out. So you end up with an angry brow. And then you look at it later, and the challenge is, and I'm saying this from a place of learning, guys, not from a place of wisdom. I do not have the wisdom with this. So let's be very clear. Looking at it from which lens, what perspective am I choosing? Am I choosing the one where I'm like, ooh, I really want that to be gone because there's lots of people who don't have that because they've gotten Botox or didn't spend years of their life in foreign sunny places without sunscreen? Or am I going to look at the lens like, oh, that's just me? Because if we didn't have social media or this, I don't know, this human need to compare, would we even notice it? Like if we were in a tribe in the Amazon or something, are they paying attention to furrowed brows? I don't know, but there's comparison in the animal kingdom, like who's bigger? There's like a survival situation. And so we're going deep here, Coco. Like, is there something evolutionary in wanting to look younger because then you're more attractive to a partner? Like this innate feeling to like to be needed and wanted because that equals safety. Like there's just something so interesting there. All that to say, I love your perspective. And I often try to think of it when I'm looking in the mirror at the many wrinkles on my forehead or the furrow between my eyebrows. And because I love to keep shit spicy, Coco, I'm going to tell you something that I did not tell you in Mexico. I got Botox. I was so scared to tell you. I got Botox and it wore off so fast because my face is so. I messaged my esthetician. I was like, what happened? And she was like, well, it's the first time you got it. And like the more expressive you are and the more you work out, like the faster it goes away. So this shit did not even last. So I was like, is my face even meant to have Botox? It is meant to be expressive. But I didn't tell you.
I found out yesterday, like some people, it's not a lot of people, but some people's livers process stuff a little bit different. And apparently that makes like for people who get Botox, it makes it just work out quicker. So maybe
Yeah,
that's just, maybe you have
maybe
one of
I
those livers.
go figure,
But
right?
beautiful, and I don't mind. I have a very good, my friend with the bum in the bush, she's a dentist and her side gig is doing Botox for people. And I've sat there and watched my friends get Botox, and I have nothing against it. I also do stuff, Like I look in the mirror and I see my body, and I thing that goes through my mind is like, I'm supposed to look like I don't have children. And sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, is it reflecting that I don't have children? Like the industry has told you that this is a certain way your body should look. Even for people who has children, bounce back quickly. And so there's all these things that I also have it in my mind and wondering, like, should I not be eating all these tacos in Mexico while I'm here? It's I'm also not immune to it, and I'm also learning how to go with it and finding that sweet spot of, am I expressing myself in the way that I want to, and allowing my body to experience this life to its capacity without me putting blocks in the way of, like, I cannot do this because I look like this. At the end of the day, I don't want, if I'm on my deathbed, be like, oh, I didn't ride a weird tube behind a boat because I didn't want to be in my bikini. I don't want to deprive myself from experiences because I look a certain way. And it can go deeper for men and for women, or for anyone feeling like, I cannot go talk to this person because I'm not the type of person that that person would talk to. And at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you try, then you'll know. But if you block yourself because I don't look a certain way, that person will be interested in me. Yeah. So I also think the body and the way that we look and how we perceive it is like a gateway into, like, the inner, and the as below, so above. Can you help me with that one?
As so without, wait, as with
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
without, so within. Now I don't even know.
Yeah, but and
Yeah.
so I do believe that the amount of pressure that we put on the aesthetics and on the outside is a little bit of a reflection, maybe a lot of bit of reflection of the inside and the inner world.
Oh, I feel like there were several mic drop moments there, Coco. That was really beautiful. And this perception of like being on your deathbed or looking in the mirror when you're older and wondering what it would look like if you would let it age, your face age naturally. I just think is a really beautiful perspective that people should just take into consideration. Cause again, it's like we're all just doing our best. And, maybe I'll get Botox again. Maybe I won't. Maybe I have a wacky liver. I apparently have a difficult forehead. I can't freeze this up. They said, so, like we're just working with what we have. And so you mentioned something in one of those mic drop moments too, where you brought in men. Because I feel like so often we're talking about this, you mainly photograph women. We're talking about bringing back this connection to divine feminine and sensuality, but you have photographed men, and men need this connection to self too. My God, what experiences do you have with men that you feel like we're just moving, or you have something to share that our audience could learn from?
I am very pushy when it comes to my male friends or even family members, because I want to get into, like, what are they thinking? Because as women, we're very vocal about, like, we'll talk about this shit and even, like, complain about it, or it's not something that we keep to ourselves. Like, like, we'll talk about, like, the ditch in the forehead or the cellulites or whatever. It's not a secret. We don't keep it a secret, and our feelings around it, but men do. Men, you have to, like, because the men that I have asked, I particularly go, like, do you ever think of it? And does it affect you? And what I've learned is, as they get older, I think it has a lot to do with hair for men. Like, the hair is a big thing for men, and a lot of insecurity goes into that. And it just showed me that we are very similar, very much the same. It affects your confidence, it affects the way you show up in your relationships and your work and, yeah, hobbies or whatever. Like, it does, it at the end of the day, it does affect that. And also, I think it goes over into, like, how we deal with those feelings. So booze or, you know, porn. I think a lot of this is just suppressing the feelings that we have around our own aesthetics and capabilities.
Yeah, the hair.
The hair.
the hair. And I never have any space to talk because I have enough hair to fill like 4 heads of people. So I will not talk about that. I will simply acknowledge that it is a pain point for many men. You mentioned porn mainly as a, as a coping strategy for, we were talking about men, but for really anyone who's not dealing with some sort of emotion. But I'm actually curious to know what separates. I know the answer to this, but I know that there's some people who might not be able to differentiate, and maybe they were raised a little bit more conservative. How is your photography not porn or pornographic?
I had to explore how far I was willing to go with my photography in order to feel where the boundary was and to feel the difference. And it comes a lot into the work that you do, intuition, how it makes you feel, what I do in the boudoir, and just like allowing yourself to enjoy your body, allowing yourself to have the choice who gets to enjoy your body, very particularly. All of that feels good. Where I think porn is chasing something different. I not don't necessarily think all porn are bad or the reason for using it. It's the in moderation kind of thing. I do feel there's like this inner. I think we also talked about it on your retreat when I told you about like my meditation that I had and like that vial, like when you throw up and it's that one that's the yellowy, like that's the feeling I get when it comes to like porn and it's used to manipulate or to suppress something or yeah. So there is a feeling. I think it comes 100% down to intuition, the difference between the two. And the same thing can be used for both. I don't think it's separate or it's separate, but the intention behind is what separates it from being porn or not.
Yeah, I like that because that shines through because intention is energy, and the energy is what comes through in the photos and like through the person. And it just makes me think too, like how we're going in another direction too, guys, but the ease with which you can guide someone in a photo shoot, you have this, it's like you have this calming energy where you just make the person feel comfortable. And you're so good at like helping someone not have like a claw hand and like to just start like, okay, move your body, start feeling into it. And there were so many moments in the photo shoots we've done together where it's like I forgot we were even doing a photo shoot because I was just moving into my body and it felt really good. And it's just this energy that you carry beyond the photo shoot. I feel like we need to do a documentary called like Beyond the Shoot with Coco. There's because your life is transformed afterwards. And I won't name names, but there was a retreat goer. I was going to save this for another podcast episode, but I'm sharing this now, and I'll make sure she tells you directly. But there was, for backstory, guys, on the retreat in Mexico we just did. Coco came, obviously, and my gift to each of the retreat goers was a photo shoot with Coco to fully embody their transformation at the end. It was something that scared the shit out of many of them initially because they were like, oh my God, a photo shoot. Like some people were excited, but a lot of people were nervous. And no, I have several directions I want to go, but one of the women who originally had not planned to go nude had ended up getting like a she ended up just going the complete opposite from what she thought she would. And she told me, she was like, I had the hottest non-vanilla sex with my husband when I got home. And I was like, that's fucking right, you did, because you accessed a different part of yourself because of that. And that is what we're doing. Like, this is what
Yeah.
we want because she connected back to a part of herself, which she then chose to share with her partner. It's this new empowerment that you are sparking within women. So now going back again from all my nervous peeps for this photo shoot, and I think almost everyone went nude, even though they hadn't planned to. Tell me about photographing the women in Mexico. Like, what were surprises, takeaways, funny moments? Just tell me about the experience because I didn't get to see these because I was doing readings for people. So I want to know.
I had a blast with every single one of them. And so I think like a lot of the times what happens is, okay, I get the person in front of me, and then the first thing that happens is like the little nervous. And then I just let that play a little out so I can see like, is it excitement or is it like the terror or what am I working with? And then I do a little bit of color regulation where I, like let's breathe a little bit, but I work it into the photo session. So I'm not like intentional. This is what we're doing. It's rolled into the session. And then I just like kind of see like, are they giving into it? Are they not? And then I literally just fuck around a little bit to, like because humor also helps. And it is very important to know that this photo session should not be taken seriously at all. We are here to have fun. We are here to explore these aspects of ourselves. If you want to try on something new for a photo, do that. And, like that's why moving your body through all of the things and the motions felt so good because you were trying on different pieces of yourself, basically. So each of the women were so incredibly different in their way. And then there's for every one of them, like a little bit where there's a pause and a stop. And I'm also like checking in. Are you doing okay? Are we moving in the right direction? Like, what are you feeling this is moving into? And there was this one woman, she had her swim top on. But she just didn't look like she was getting comfortable. And I have never, ever done this in a photo session before. I would never push anyone like in an uncomfortable position. But I told her that I think it's because she has her top on and I think she shouldn't. And I've never done that before, like tell someone to take off a piece of clothing because I let them like naturally decide when they want to. And she was like, okay, you think? And I was like, yeah. And, and immediately it was a different person in front of my camera. And she was just like, oh, yeah, actually, this is what I needed. And so that was a very cool point for me where I took a little bit of a risk, like suggesting. But also, I think that's important to like feel into like something wasn't clicking. And then also, yeah, just like being with each of them in that form where someone else also, she paused, she stopped. And I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, I don't know. I think so. And I'm like, what is going on? She's like, I've never felt this beautiful before.
Oh,
I don't know like what to do with this. What do I do with it? I feel so beautiful. Where do I go with it? And that was incredible to witness and to hold because I've been there, like the day that I put on my wedding dress, like that little girl feeling of like, I'm a fucking princess. And I've never felt that beautiful before, but that one was for a reason. I'm going down the aisle and getting married. But that one for her in that moment, like on the beautiful beach in Mexico, and just her like being like, I feel it and I am it. And I'm like, yes, you are. You're 100% that beautiful. Yeah.
again, a mic drop moment that because I didn't know that. And that's the point. That is the point. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
It was beautiful. Like, I also know a little bit of the leading up to it. And it helped being on the retreat and getting to know the woman before I did the photo session. I felt it was a very important part of it. A lot of my clients do come in and it's the first time that I'm meeting them. And for some of them, they've been following me on socials for a couple of years. So they kind of know who they're working with. But I do feel it helped me to tap in a little bit deeper in each of their sessions because I got to spend also such an important time for them with them. Yeah. Well, more the clothes came off. Like I could see the work in the retreat working.
Yeah, you locked in the transformation pretty much. So where are you going with this? What's next? What are you doing to continue this journey?
I have been dabbling a little bit in embodiment coaching, felt important, and it was good to learn. And the feeling is that I want to be a guide to help people recognize it, like in this scenario where someone felt so beautiful. I want people to know that it is part of you and you have it, and you don't need to go searching for it or making it necessarily on your own. So that's what I kind of want to break the barrier of the aesthetic blocks that we have and have people just find some ease and comfort in that area of their life so that they can go deeper. Because I feel like that was a big point for me, was acceptance, less comparison, and all of that made a lot of like what happened the last year possible for me, meeting the people that I have and going on these adventures and meeting more of these women. And all of this couldn't have happened if I didn't break through that barrier myself. And so I would just want that for more people.
Amazing. And how perfect to be an embodiment coach guide who also photographs. You're like, it's like
I
double
am,
whammy. Amazing. Yeah.
it's all like, so necessarily don't know if I know exactly where I'm going. I'm definitely my photography. Every time I think, this is what I'm doing, it just levels up a little bit. And I am in awe of it and here to receive it and excited to. I don't know where I'm going, Summer, but I'm going.
Love it. Queen of surrender, though, a lesson for all of us. She doesn't know where she's going, but she's going. Let's
Yeah.
do more of that. Oh, okay. Well, Coco, we have your links in the show notes for people to connect with you. And I will make darn good ensure that everyone stateside knows when you come visit us here so that they can book a session. Because if you're not inspired to book a session with Coco by now after this interview, then you need to DM me so I can convince you, because your life will change. It will not be the same after a photo shoot with Coco. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Summer. Thank you for. I'm just so happy that I got to meet you. Also, can I say this on your podcast? Met a little bit in South Africa, and then we kind of connected on the social media. And you messaged me one day and you're like, I know we will see each other again. And I told my husband, I'm like, Summer is a medium. If she says we're going to meet one day again, she can see stuff. She knows stuff. And it's just been such a journey. And I love who you are, and what you get to do for other people is also incredibly magical. And I'm so grateful to be a witness of that. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. And you'll be on the next retreat too, because I'm planning it around when you're available for sure. Well, thank you so much, Coco. Go eat all of the tacos and whatever the F you want. And
Quesadilla.
what did you say? What is it?
It's a quesadilla.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, eat
Melted
some-
and cheese and meat, and it's good.
go eat some of those for all of us freezing up here in the US, and we will talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to Soul Inspirit. If this episode moved you, sparked something, or just made you feel a little more like yourself, I'd be so grateful if you left a review or shared it with someone you love. It helps more souls find this space and join us in raising the collective vibration. If you have questions, thoughts, or just want to share what came up, I'd love to hear from you. DM me on Instagram or email me anytime. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep showing up, because the real magic shows up when you do. With so much love.